Good morning. Hi, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine. Who's here? Doug, good morning. I showed this Saturday. I don't remember if you were here on Saturday, but I just got a dragon cube. It's nice and hefty. It's it got a dragon on it. It's so cute and red and shiny, and I love it. I haven't scrambled it because it's too pretty, but I got that. Showed it on Saturday, and there's 2 corners that can be interchanged and 5 edges that can be interchanged, so makes it simpler than a typical picture cube. But oh gosh, that's pretty and I love it. So I thought I'd show that off. Set that aside. I gotta figure out how to stabilize my camera because it keeps wobbling. Okay. Alright, so good morning. Rubik's Cubes. Yesterday I did the corners, and began to do edges. So let's do that. Quick overview of the formulas. Formula A is 4 moves. You hold the cube as if it were a spreadsheet, and look at the front as if it were a spreadsheet of rows and columns. And the arrows for A and B indicate the one slice you move for that turn, and so it can be scaled up or scaled down. But it's always just Formula A is always just 4 moves, 1 row, 1 column, and B is always 8 moves, 1 top row and 2 columns. Formula A brings the corner to the top and also twists it back and forth until it's correct. And as long as you don't rotate the cube while you're doing your Formula A, whatever is already done is going to stay done. So you just rotate the top row to work on this cube until it's happy. And so to demonstrate there, we've got these 2 cubes are going to move. So I move this out, move the space down, move the cube into the space, and the cube in the space back up again. It moves a bunch of things, but it's always done because of the mathematics of the cube, so that if as long as you don't rotate the cube and only rotate the top row, the only things you're moving are the pieces that you want to move. So it doesn't matter if it's the first move you're working with or the last move you're working with, it doesn't mess up the rest of the cube. So that's fun. It can also be used for this absolute center, and it can also be used for actually any cube on the side, on the first face that you're working on. For example, I don't teach this, but here all the corners are correct. So working on the edges, here's an edge piece. It's a white and red. So if I put it underneath where it wants to be, right there, then I can do Formula A for this as well. I move it away from the action, I move the space down, move the piece into the space, and the piece in the space back up again. This piece, move it away, down, in, up. So you can use A, but only for the first face, because it does affect the other corners, the other spaces. So I usually do B instead. B, what does B do? B is 8 moves, 1 row, 2 columns, and it moves 3 pieces around, always 3 pieces around. If I apply it to the top row and the outside columns, the 3 pieces that it moves, that's an up and up and down, down. 3 pieces that it moves are these 3 corners. If I apply it to an edge piece, such as this one, then the first column is where I want it to end up, the second column is where it begins, and top row is always the same. So slide up, slide up, slide down, and we just move these 3 cubes around. So Formula B only moves the 3 pieces that you're intending to move. It doesn't move, so it doesn't move anything else you've done. So if I wanted to move this piece, for example, okay, the first horizontal is to line it up so it's a space that wants to come down, and then up, slide to a different column. This cube dictates what those columns are. So the columns are dictated by which cube you select to affect B on. And you don't have to memorize, well, these 2 columns do this and these 2 columns do this. You just pick the cube that you want to move. Just pick the cube that you want to move. So let's start doing that. We did the corners. Next is in my order of operation. Good morning if you just joined us. Hi, how are you guys all doing today? I did a quick overview of demonstrating what the A and B does. And yesterday I did the corners, so we'll work with the edges today. Hi. Okay. All right. So when I do the corners, I work with yellow and white, simply because that works best for me, but you can be color neutral on this. So I'm going to say yellow and white because that's what I'm working on, and you just make the translation in your head if you're using different opposite colors. So, oh, show this again. Look at you guys. I got the dragon cube. It is so pretty. Nice and shiny. The metallic edges, it's got a really good feel to it, a nice good heft to it. And it comes with a nice stable stand for it to be on. And I love it, it's so cute. Okay, all right, so yellow and white are left and right. As dictated by the corners. We did the corners first and they dictate what the side's going to be. So I hold the cube so yellow and white are left and right, and I look for any edge piece in the middle that has one of those 2 colors. And when I find a piece, then I act on it. I don't spend time pairing it up because they'll land by themselves, and if I pair them up, I can pair them up incorrectly. So it's fewer probability of parity if I let the cube do it itself. So the yellow's on top, yellow and white are left and right. Pin the corners to match the front color. Determine which direction it's going because the yellow and red wants to land between the yellow and red corners. So it's Formula B. The row is my top, and the 2 columns are where it wants to land and where it began. So away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Here's another white. Bring the corners to match the front. Yellow and white are left and right. And it goes going in the white direction. So away, first up, back, second up, away, down, back, down. Another. And I just pick them as I come to them. I don't search for them. Corners match the front. It's going in the yellow direction. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. And as I demonstrated, only 3 pieces are ever being moved for a B. And there's another one. Corners match the front. It's going in the white direction. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Another one. And I just keep doing this. Formula B. Corners match the front, determine its direction, and move it away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. And I just keep doing this until there's no more yellow or whites in the middle area. And when that happens, I look to see if they're correctly placed, because some of them might not be. For example, this might not be come up to the middle for me, but it's overplaced on the side where I don't see it in the middle. So if I ever have to if I don't see a yellow or white, and I see that one is is not correct, then I can apply Formula B so that it affects that piece by placing one of my middle pieces into that spot, which will move it out to the middle where I can get to it. So up, up, down, down. I usually wait until there's no more in the middle though, because sometimes the middle ones displace the ones that are incorrect, and I don't ever have to come to that. So here's the corners match the front, yellow and white are left and right. It's going in the yellow direction. And I can see that this does want to be moved out. So I'm going to treat these as one piece. Up, up, down, down, and keep working. Okay, corners match the front. I find cubing very meditative, very relaxing for me, because it's predictable. It's the same thing. It's repetitive and predictable, and the cube always does. The cube always behaves like a cube. So, it's so, rather than okay. So all of these want to move out, and I can do that. So I'm going to treat this as one big piece. Up, up, down, down. There's another one. Just keep looking for yellow and white, and then letting them go where they want to go. Up, up, down, down. Okay, these need to be flipped, so before I flip it, I'm going to use all the ones that don't need to be flipped. Fewer regrips that way, not a lot, but some. Up, up, down, down. Actually, okay. And because I'm working on the opposite edges, it really doesn't matter if I do that the last down, but I do it to keep my muscle memory intact. So, white's on top, bring the corners to match the front. It's going in the white direction. This one also can be displaced, so I'll put a garbage piece here and treat it as two, at least two as one. Just saves a little bit of time. There's a green. Corners match the front. Going in the white direction. Away up, in, up, away down, in, down. And here's some. They're on the, I'm going to flip this. They're on the front and I want them to be on top, so I flip the cube, but yellow and white are still left and right. Pick one of them, bring the corners to match the front. It's going in the white direction, so first column, second column. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Another one. Going in this direction. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Here's a blue. Bring the corners to the front. It's going in the yellow direction. This one wants to move out as well, so I'll put a garbage piece here and treat it like two. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay. Corners match the front, right's on top, going in the white direction. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Bring the corners match the front. Away up, in up, away down, in down. And lather, rinse, repeat. Here's a yellow. So goes over here, away up, in down, in down. Anybody have any new cubes they want to show? They want to brag about? The dragon cube came with I ordered a surprise cube with it. And it came with a very nice cube that comes with magnets and a screwdriver and more labels and an instruction manual. This has an M on it. It is the MGC3 Elite. And it moves very smoothly. It corners, and it's I still have a cube from the 80s. I can demonstrate how they do not move like this, which is why I do not have finger tricks memorized, because I didn't learn those back then, and my fingers don't move as smoothly as you you young whippersnappers. But I have that cube as well. It's very, very nice and sweet. I still have more cubes coming to me. I haven't had an order problem with I have ordered an all purple cube, different shades of purple, and I will certainly let you guys know when that comes in. So corners are left, yellows are left and right, corners match the front. It's going in this direction, away up, in up, away down, in down. Another corner, another edge piece that does not want to be in the middle. Bring the corners to match the front. It's going in the white direction, away up, away down, in, down. Okay, nothing there, nothing there. There's one. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. Okay, corners match the front. It's going in the yellow direction. Away up, away down, in, down. No yellow or white, no yellow or white, no yellow or white. There's one. Corners match the front. Away up, away down, in, down. And when there's no more yellow or white, no more opposite colors in the middle, then you check and see if they're all correctly placed. They either will be or they won't be. And if they are, you move on. And if they're not, just throw a garbage piece into where the misplaced one is and keep going. So that's that one. Same thing on a small piece. They're all solved exactly the same way. 2, 2, 2. Corners match the front. Away up, away down, in, down. Looking for a yellow or white. Here's one. Put it on top. Yellow and white left and right. Corners match the front. Away up, away down, in, down. Okay. Corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Away up, away down, in, down. I should make a song. Okay. Corners match the front. It's going in the white direction, so away up, away down, in, down. Okay, no more yellow or white in the middle, so I check to see if the sides are correct. These ones are. This one has one that's not. And rather than correct it, I'm just going to let this be the piece I misplaced for my side. Oh, no, actually that's not true. This one is also incorrect. So these two are also incorrect. So we've got 3 that are incorrect. All right, so then I will use B to displace one of the ones that are incorrectly placed. Up, down, down. And then to place it, I don't really need, okay. Corners match the front. Slide up, slide down, slide down. And then, again, we check, and these ones are not correct. So I'm going to displace this one. Slide up, slide, and this tells me which row I'm in. It's easy on a 3x3, but for larger cubes, you just have to watch it. You just gotta watch them. Yellow. Corners match the front. This direction. up, up, down, down. This piece, away up, in up, away down, in down. Okay, now the yellow and white are left and right. Line up the absolute center if you can see one, and then I'm just going to finish this. Let's see, do I have any new people? Good morning. Hope you guys are all happy. All right, so the side edges are not correct. I pick a side edge and I apply Formula B to affect it. Again, top column, one row, two columns. Slide up, slide down, and I displaced one yellow piece, and that's okay because the yellow will find its way back to the top automatically. And then I'm ignoring everything but the piece I'm working on, which is the not yellow on top. Corners match the front. It's going in the red direction. Away up, in up, away down, in down. And a new piece to play with. Corners match the front. It's going red. Up, in up, down, in down. And a new piece. My headset is falling off. Ah! Okay. Stand by, we are having technical difficulties. Okay, corners match the front. Orange going in this direction. Away up, in up, away down, in down. And my yellow found its way back to the top again. Yay! So the yellow will always find its way back to the top. It'll either be correct at that point, or you have to look and see what needs to be done next. So this yellow is not correct, which means one of these side edges is also not correct, because you can never have one piece in the right place but flipped. There always has to be two because of the mathematics of the cube. So I'm going to line up them so that the two that are, we already know that Formula B moves from the top front to the front left or right. So I'm going to line up the cube so that that's the way that's the case. And I'm going to do Formula B. Okay, and then whatever was here is now in the back, so I bring it to the front again. And this time, when I place it correctly, everything will be happy. Up, up, down, down, set the top, and we're done. So, it's not the fastest, not the shortest, but the happiest for me, because I can teach it. In real life, it takes me about 2 1-hour sessions. I say about because sometimes it's less. It was less for my 10-year-old niece this weekend. That was a lot of fun. The 11-year-old niece was about an hour and a half, but the 10-year-old niece just picked it up like that. All right, so that is how I haven't done all of the cubes. I'll keep going. So yellow and white are left and right. This one's done, just like the 2x2. This one, the yellow and white are left and right, and so the opposite edges are done. Let's keep going on this one. Again, just yellow and white are left and right. Find a piece in the middle that wants to be tossed in that direction and toss it. So, whoopsie. There we go. Okay, corners are copied with each other. All 4 corners are correct to each other. Yellow and white are left and right. So I bring the corners to match the front of the cube I'm working on, QB I'm working on, and it goes in this direction. I can see that both of these want to be moved out, so I can find a garbage, no I can't. I'm just going to find a garbage piece to toss in there, but I actually can't. So just this one. Away up, in up, away down, in down. That one's placed. Here is another one. Down front, I want it to be on top. Corners match the front, and it's going in the yellow direction. So away up, in up, away down, in down. Another one. Just find a cube that's wrong and toss it where it belongs. That's all we do. This one wants to come out as well, so I can throw another garbage piece in. I'll treat this as 2. Up, up. It might save me 4 turns, 8 turns later on. And if I care about speed, I will do that. Will matter to me. Corners match the front. It's going white direction. Up, up, down, down. That is placed. Corners match the front. Yellow and white are left and right. It's going in this direction. Up, up, down, down. Yellow or white. Here's one. And I just keep doing this for as long as there's a yellow or white, because I've trained my eyes to look for them, so I'm going to keep going. This one, both these want to move out, so I can throw a garbage piece in there. Actually, I can see whether or not they're up. Oh, I can throw these two in there. Sometimes it's worthwhile to check that. Corners match the front. It's going the yellow direction. Do I have the other red and yellow? Yeah, I do. I can place them together. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. White with green color on top. Corners match the front. And do I have the other one? 1, 2, 3. Nope. All right, but I'm going to displace this piece anyway. So up, up, down, down. Yellow or white, yellow or white. Here we go. Corners match the front. It's going in the white direction. Up, up, down, down. Ha-ha. And another yellow or white. Corners match the front. You don't care about speed. What about minimizing turns? Oh, I'm all for I'm all for any shortcuts, and I'll just test to see if there's anything more that I can do at the same time. But when I'm teaching, I don't take shortcuts. But when I'm playing by myself, yeah, I'll take whatever shortcuts come my way. Especially the larger cubes, because I like solving, but there comes a point where it's just redundant and I'm done and ready to put it down. So corners match the front. It's going in the yellow direction. Up, up, down, down. What I care about mostly. Why do I cube? Cubes are happy for me, for philosophical reasons. No matter what I do with this cube, no matter who twists it, no matter who affects it, no matter who tries to scramble, this is one thing in my life that is 100% predictable. It always works the way it's supposed to be, and you do the thing and you get the outcome that you expected. And it doesn't matter what twists and turns someone else did. It always works for me, and it's calming to me. It's repetitive, so it's kind of hypnotic to me, kind of therapeutic, and I feel peace when the colors just start lining up, just start flowing together. How fast and how few doesn't really matter. It's just that it helps me get out of my head when I'm dealing with panic, anxiety, depression, whatever. And it's one thing that is reliable and 100% consistent, and so it's friendly to me. When life is when there's nothing else in life that I can control, I can pick up a cube and know that if I do the right thing is going to happen. So, and life is not always like that. But it's it's fun for me. So that's what I get for myself. But when I'm teaching someone else, and I see, like, for example, my 11-year-old niece, I showed her the 2x2 and she got the corners done, and I tried to show her a bigger cube, and of course she said, no, that one's too hard. That one looks too hard, which is why I don't ever teach the 2x2 to begin with. But her sister had the other cube, so I said, okay, you're right. It does look more complicated. It absolutely does. But you just made a decision. You just put a block in your head that said this new thing is going to be hard. And as long as that new thing, that block is in your head that you put there, then it's going to be hard for you to learn. But I promise you that this cube is solved the exact same way as this cube. And so if you decided to put that block there, but you can decide to take that block out. And if you decide that you're going to try it rather than just prejudge it to be hard, then you might discover that you can do it. So, but it's up to you. You put the block there. You get to decide if you take it away. And she thought about that for a few minutes. Then she picked up a bigger cube and she started doing the corners on it. So, I love being able to help people open their mind. I love someone who thinks they can't do it, like, oh, I can never do that. And then I just show them the simple moves, and the block behaves itself because as an inanimate object, it has to do what it's supposed to do. And their eyes just light up, and they get this sense of pride and accomplishment, and wow, I can do it. Maybe I'm smart. But it just, the way their face lights up when they thought they couldn't, and then it just happens for them, because it's going to just happen for them. If they do the moves, the pieces fall into place, and there's not a lot of memorization because it's the same thing over and over again. And so people just, my goodness, they just like grow 3 inches in stature, and they're just like, I did that. Like my 10-year-old niece was going through, she was working her way up through the larger cubes. She was corners, edges, and she would, whenever she had a question, she would come back to me and she'd say, okay, well, now which one do I do here? Or she'd say, okay, my blue corners are all right. Now my green corners are all right, but there's no blue. Now my blue corners are all right, but there's no green. And I'm like, okay, this is what you're doing. You're turning the cube instead of the, And so she'd come to me when she had a question. And then we were downstairs watching a movie, and her dad, who I also taught, but I taught the beginner's method because I didn't have this yet. And so when I said, hey, you want to learn my method? He goes, you already taught me. I know how. Like, okay, but your daughters are learning how to solve the 5x5, and you can only do the 3x3. You're going to want to learn. But anyway, so he looks at his daughter's got a scrambled cube, and he says, hey, I'll give you $1 if you can fix that without asking her for help. And her eyes lit up, and she looked at me, a challenge, and she looked at me like, should I take it? Do you think I can do it? Can I do it? Am I good enough? Like looking to me to see whether or not I thought she could do it. And I just scoffed and said, oh, of course you can do it. You owe her $1. And so she went to her cube and solved the cube and showed it to her dad, and then solved it another 10 times. It's when I teach the cube, I'm not teaching the cube. I'm teaching confidence, and the idea that something that you thought was hard might not be. And so it's the idea that maybe I shouldn't limit myself before I try. And so that's fun for me when I see when I just a simple life lesson, like, you put the block there, you can remove it if you want to, but it's up to you. I feel like I'm changing people one person at a time, because it does work. I am the type that learns several different methods for each cube. I like that, yeah, because it's once you learned it, you don't just, like my nephew, he's learned it, he's like, nope, I know how to do it, I don't need it anymore. And I'm like, well, okay. I'm going to put a 4x4 in your hand and see how far you can get. And when you get stuck, I'll help you. Because if you just find one way to do it, then you know one way to do it. But the more methods you can find to do it, the more you understand your cube intuitively and how it works. I don't get mad at me. I consider algorithms to be the equivalent of cheat codes for a game. It's like, oh, in this situation you do this, and then you can proceed. But the more you understand the cube intuitively, the more you don't need the algorithms, because you understand why and how the algorithms work. So I'm all for learning as many ways to do things as you can. Except for me, I'm old and I know my ABCube method. And I'm kidding. I do try other methods just to see how they work and what they do. Because yeah, maybe there's something that's better or easier for me. But it's more fun for me to teach the cube than to actually solve the cube. And when I do solve the cube, it's just kind of mental relaxation for me. So I'm not really challenging myself when I solve the cube. Generally, occasionally, like once or twice a month, I'll pick up my Go cube and have it time me so I can see if I've gained speed or lost speed. But primarily, the most fun I have with cubes is teaching someone. The second, and then when I'm doing it by myself, it's calming and relaxing for me. So that's what I focus on, is just being calm and relaxing. All right, so there we have it. We've done opposite edges. Our 2x2 is now done. Our 3x3 is now done. And these ones have yellow and white. The opposite edge is done. Yellow and white are done. And when I come back tomorrow and we work with the side edges, then we'll try to cover parodies. We'll try to get a parody on one of those so we can cover parodies. Short answer is the parody is a lie. The cake is a lie. The parody is a lie. It's what you can see. You're relying on what you can see instead of what you know about the cube, and eyes can deceive. So if it looks like there's two pieces that are out of place, the third piece that you can't see is the piece that you can't see. It is the slice that the parody touches. Make that 1/4 turn, solve it again, and your parody is dissolved. So, all right, that's it. Thank you for spending your morning with me. Oh, hello, lots of new people. I think there's some names I don't recognize. Thank you for finding me. Thank you for spending time with me, letting me be part of your day. If you don't already follow me, that would be lovely. I would appreciate that. And anyway, I'm here Monday. I'm here weekday mornings, just taking step by step through the method. And on Friday afternoons and Saturday mornings, I am set up to Zoom as well, so I can teach up to 3 to 4 people at the same time. So if you have newbies, non-cubers who want to learn, bring them to me. We'll have fun. But I Zoom and then I live capture from my Twitch. So I'm here on Twitch every weekday morning, Saturdays at 9, Fridays at 5 at 6. So come and play with me and bring me your cubes. I got this one as well. The ABCube method works to solve this cube as well. This is a Whittington 3x3x9, and friend bought it for me, and I spent a month trying to learn it, looking at the YouTube tutorials, and literally a month, a different tutorial every day, trying to figure out what they were doing, and they were so confusing to me. I couldn't figure it out. The closest I could get was, okay, this formula is going to move these things and these things, so hold your cube so that's advantageous, and then do the formula, and then reset your cube and see what to do next. And I'm like, and so after a month, I sat down and looked at my method and said, okay, is there anything I can do with the ABCube method? Because I could get the yellow and white side done, and I could get the little trim line in the middle done. But for working on the sides, the 9 side, my formula is in and out and in and out. and you can't turn it that way. So I made one little adaptation. I said, what happens if instead of going left and right, I go 2 turns each time? And then so I didn't mess it up. I pulled out my 7x and said, okay, I'm pretending the yellow and white don't move. And I said, what happens if I do Formula B without adaptation? And I was able to look at my cube and see what it did. And then I was able to figure out how to make that work on here. So then I mastered it overnight once I made a little change to my B. So that's fun. I will be happy to play with anybody who wants to play. So wow, you guys, go have a wonderful day. Be nice to yourself. Be happy, and I'll be back here tomorrow. Bye.